In this video, we're going to be talking about for loops and how we can take advantage of them. So let's go ahead and open up idle. We're in idle now. We can go ahead and create a new program. We can do it by hitting Command N as a shortcut on Mac, or I think it's Control N on Windows. Or you can go ahead and just go up to File and say New Window, and that'll create a new window also. In here, we're going to go ahead and write a new program. So we're going to go ahead and save this first. We're going to call it code01.py, and I just saved it in my documents directory for now. And we should keep in mind where we're saving our documents so that we can find them later. So the first thing that we want to learn about for loops is they're kind of related to while loops. While loops we generally use when we have an unknown number of items that we're iterating over. For loops are really designed for when we have a fixed number of items, when we have a certain number of items that we want to iterate over. So the general syntax for a for loop is for some sort of variable name, and then in some sort of set of items. And then we have the body of our for loop where we can just put a bunch of statements here. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this breaks down. So the variable, this is going to be what we call a target variable. It's where the item that we're iterating over. And so in this case, we can just have a variable name, for example, the variable I. We could also have a different variable name, which we'll show later. And then we need to iterate over some set of items. So for example, I can iterate over the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll just iterate through each one of these numbers one at a time and run any code that's in our body. So our body is everything that's indented underneath of our for loop. So we could go ahead and just say print out I, and we can go ahead and run this module. And we can see that it just prints out the values that we listed, right? So the first time this runs, it's going to run and it takes the value 1 and it copies it into the variable I, and then it runs this print statement, right? And so in this case, it's going to print 1. And at that point, the loop ends and it goes back up to the start and it starts running again, but it goes to the next item to iterate through, right? So the first time it does 1, the second time it does 2, the third time it does 3, 4, and 5, right? We can also do the same thing that we did with a while loop, where we iterated and used an accumulator to total up a value. So we could have a new variable called sum at the top, where we say sum is equal to 0, and as we go along, we can actually sum up that value, right? So we could say sum equals sum plus I. Right, so in this case, we have multiple statements inside of our for loop body, so we can do multiple things. You'll notice that the big difference between a for loop and a while loop is that we don't actually have to iterate, we don't have to manually update the iterator. So when we worked with while loops, we had to say something like I++ or I equals I plus 1 when we were done, right? In this case, the for loop does it for us. The structure does it by iterating through a list of values, right? So as long as we have a predefined list, we can use a for loop, and it's actually much simpler because we don't have to keep track of that iterator, and we don't have to check a condition to see if it's still true or not. So in this case, it just does all that for us. And so when we're done here, we can go ahead and print out the sum of those values, sum of all values, and we can just print out the sum, right? We can go ahead and let's go ahead and save this as a different one. We'll save this as maybe code 2, and we'll go ahead and run it. And in this case, we can see that for the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if we add those all up together, we get the value 15, right? So now we've done an accumulator example. So something else I want to show you real quick is that these variables, that we can change these variables. In this case, I is short for iterator, so we could actually change that variable name to be the full name of what it's describing, right? So we could actually say iterator. So the name of that variable doesn't matter, and the values that we're using can be changed, right? So it doesn't have to be a set of values that are in an order, right? So we could say 1, 3, 5, 2, 4. And it would basically do the same thing, but it does them in the order that you present. So if we go ahead and run this, we basically get the same results, right? Just the values are in a different order. Something else that we can do is instead of iterating over just numerical values, we can iterate over anything that's a list. Right? So anything that we put square brackets around is considered a list in Python. And so we can have a list of integers, we could have a list of floating point numbers. So we could say 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, right? So we can give it a list of floating point numbers, and it's going to basically do the same thing. We can run that. And we can do it with strings as well. So we could say 1, 2, 3, and we can run that. Oh, except that's not going to work because we're not summing those. So we can just print those out. So we can go ahead and just comment out this line. Or we can get, yeah, let's go ahead and comment these out. And so now we just have the 2 lines of code, right? And it just prints out those 3 strings one at a time. So you can use anything that's in a list. We'll learn more about what we can do with lists later in the semester as the course goes on.